Welcome everybody to Banja Luka in Serbia and IBA.PRO 4. 9 fights we have got for you tonight, and the first one is at welterweight. This is Artem PUGACH, who we saw give Mamedshoev a good fight 10 days ago on another IBA.PRO card. Showed good durability.
Idemo sada na zlatni ugao. Ovaj mladi talent se predstavlja prvi put u profesionalnim vodama. Ima impresivne rezultate u amaterskim vodama. Vidjet ćete kako i zašto. Pozdravimo predstavnika Srbije, Alexey SHENDRIK.
And making his way into the gold corner, Alexey SHENDRIK from Belgrade. Got to the quarterfinals at the European Championships. At the under-22s, boxed at the World Championships in 2023 and went deep into the Olympic qualifiers, and then ran into Ruslan Abdullayev and unfortunately went no further.
I dame i gospodo, dok se naši borci pripremaju posljednje pripreme pred početak meča, gledat ćemo 6 rundi po 3 minuta. Welter kategorija do 66,7 kg. Da vidimo, dakle, crni ugao ima 34 godine, 175 cm visok, raspon ruku 172. Njegov profesionalni učinak, 3 pobjede, 7 poraza i 4 nerešene. On je šampion Moskovske lige i šampion Moskovske oblasti. Artem PUGACH! A u zlatnom uglu 21 godina, 181 cm. Raspon ruku 180, profesionalni debi, ali dvostruki evropski šampion ispod 18 godina, Alexey SHENDRIK. Sudija u ringu, gospođa Marija Petković, Srbija. Pored ringa tu su sudije Bagata Vojana, Jermenija, Sergej Župki, Rusija i Valerij Paskupov, Moldavija.
So the referee calling these two to the centre. Six rounds at welterweight to get us underway. SHENDRIK in the white and PUGACH in the black. Marija Petković, our referee. An IBA World title fight at bantamweight coming up later on. An intercontinental IBA title up for grabs at cruiserweight as well, but we've got some good undercard matches first. SHENDRIK set up orthodox in the white, in the black, boxing out of the southpaw stance here, Artem PUGACH. Long left hand to the body there from PUGACH. SHENDRIK quite light on his feet, up on his toes a little bit. This is the debut for him, a pro debut. PUGACH has had 14 fights, mostly in the away corner. But you can see there that he's in fantastic shape. He obviously stays in the gym, stays ready, is able to work around a number of different weight divisions. And that's good technique there, just moving in behind the jab, then looking for the long left hand into the body. SHENDRIK trying to work his right hand in similar fashion. Just needs to be slightly careful, PUGACH. Sometimes he comes in from a long way out, as he did successfully the last time, but on that occasion went for that left to the body. He was a little bit short with it. His feet get stuck and there's not really any way back. There again, almost. He just got back in time there, but when he makes that move, he's got to make sure that he pulls back, pulls out quick, or he's going to get caught. Not an easy target because he gets nice and low, but I think SHENDRIK is is almost looking to tempt him into that if he can. Shendrick looking for the uppercut on the inside, then landed a good left hand to the body. This just heating up a bit as we head into the final minute of round 1. This scheduled for 6. He shaped for that left hand again there, Pugach. In the end, pulled out of it. I think he realised that he wasn't really in range. Again, he's looking for the body there, Shendrick, but Pugach had dropped the elbows in nicely. Good left to the body there from Pugach. Shendrick just quickening up those feet a bit as the round has gone on. Right hand underneath there from him. He's trying to get on top of Pugach here and see if he could put a little bit of a dent in him towards the end of the first round. Against fighters like this, what you don't want to do is put any wind in their sails. And I think that's what Shendrick is looking to do here, is just trying to show Pugach that he's the boss, that he's a superior fighter, and that he is the one who is going to dictate terms as the bell goes at the end of the first. Lots of Serbian fighters on the card tonight. We've got Omar Ometovic next up. A much decorated Serbian flyweight. Almir Memic as well, boxing at super middleweight in that world title fight. We have Sara Mirkovic too, so a lot of local interest in this card, as Serbia has hosted plenty of major IBA competition in recent times. I was lucky enough to be at the World Championships, the Men's World Championships, for 2 weeks in Belgrade in autumn 2021. The recent Women's World Championships were in Niš. I had a few days over there. And last year the European Championships too. Pugach with a good right hand there, and that registered with Shendrick, and then a good straight left up top and to the body there from Pugach. I think he knows that towards the end of that first round, Shendrick was looking to try and turn the screw on him a bit, and he's come out nice and aggressive at the start of round 2. Referee just allowing them to work on the inside before calling break. Looking for the 1-2, his feet just came a little bit square there, Pugach. You can see that back foot come round as he threw that left hand. Left hand there from Shendrick. Wasn't absolutely clean, slightly with the inside of the glove. Then a jab lands from Pugach and a lead hand lands from Shendrick as well. You just feel like if Shendrick could just take a half step back when he sees Pugach coming with that 1-2, then he could be in business, because Pugach really commits to it to the point where he comes over the top of that front foot a bit. He gets nice and low, but he just caught it with a left hand there as he was coming forward, Shendrick, which is kind of what I was talking about, really. And again, towards the end of the round here, Shendrick's just beginning to get on top slightly. Left hand to the body there, though, from Pugach. Nice right hand lead there from Shendrick. A couple didn't land. He just dipped off to his left hand side, shuts it up, and then plants in a nice left to the body. And the home crowd just beginning to get behind him here. Another left into the rib cage right at the end of the round. We saw Pugach in the UK not that long ago, actually. Just a few weeks ago, he took on a 10-0 Travis Waters. Lost on points, but from what I hear, gave a good account of himself. He's done some travelling. So we're heading into the third round here. What's always interesting when you're watching a fighter like Shendrick, who is boxing in IBA.PRO, in professional boxing for the first time, is how he handles the increased distance, because this is scheduled for 6 rounds. Now that's 18 minutes. In international amateur boxing, it is 9 maximum. It's a big difference. Pugach much more used to it. Good right hand counter there from Shendrick. And again there, came over the top of the left hand there of Pugach, and Pugach just looking to try and tuck up a little bit. And Shendrick is managing to push it back into the corner, and he's getting on top of him earlier in this round. Swinging left hand there from Shendrick. Didn't quite land clean with the knuckle part of the glove, but it got through nonetheless. Left hand to the body there from Pugach, who's sticking to his task here, trying to bring some heat himself whenever he can. Steps in with that left hand. The heads almost come together there on the inside. Better looking short left hand there from Pugach, but then just got his feet stuck really and found himself caught with a right hand. Good left hand into the body there from Pugach. Really stepped in and looked to try and put some power onto it. And that's where he was just made to fall short with the left hand. And Shendrick came back with that right hand counter. So heading into the second half of the fight here, they're scheduled for 6 at welterweight. Alexey SHENDRIK, you would say, has won all 3 rounds so far, but what's going to be interesting here is to see whether he can keep the work rate high, keep that tempo up in rounds 4, 5 and 6, because that is not something he is used to having to try to do. And PUGACH will push him hard all the way. He's that kind of a fighter. Again, lost his balance there. That's what I was referring to in an earlier round. He throws that left hand from a long way out. He was short with it, and you can see that back foot come up off the canvas, which is a sure sign that the weight's gone too far over the top of that front foot. And once that happens, you just can't get it back, and your opponent will know that. You lose control of your own momentum is basically what happens, and you end up falling forwards into this kind of black hole between yourself and the guy you're up against. And if he times it right, then you can find yourself bang in trouble. Just stepping off to his left there, SHENDRIK, trying to change the angle slightly. And PUGACH, as I say, he keeps coming. He's always looking to be aggressive. He's always looking to try and get something done, even if he does get caught on the way in sometimes. He does have his technical shortcomings, but as I said, he comes in really, really good shape. And he's capable of boxing at a good tempo for 6 rounds. Good work to the body there from him. The left to the body came back from SHENDRIK, which the referee, I think, thought was maybe slightly on the low side. I think it was pretty much on the top of the belt line. That's a good attack to the body there from SHENDRIK. He turned southpaw briefly, final few seconds of the round, and there's been no sign as yet of his attacking attempt diminishing at all. So the bell goes at the end of the round. Just dip to his left there and look for the uppercut, SHENDRIK. There's that left into the body, and that was the one the referee called for being slightly low. I don't think it was. That was a better one. That was, or maybe it was that one actually. And if it was that one, then I think that was fair enough. It wasn't a particularly damaging punch in any case. Now I think the corner will be encouraging SHENDRIK just to try and turn the screw a bit here. See if he can up the ante, click through the gears in round 5 and round 6. He hasn't managed to hurt PUGACH at any point yet. Not that I've really spotted. He may well have felt a few of these to the body. I'm sure he has, but he hasn't shown any real adverse reaction from any of them just yet. SHENDRIK in the white, remember, PUGACH in the black. And PUGACH just looking to pile in with that 1-2. Left hand got through that time from PUGACH. Not much on it. but it found the target. Looking for a big right uppercut there, Shendrick. Wasn't far away with it, and actually I think if he'd not been quite so wild with it, he might not have pulled up on it quite so quick and he could have landed it. He likes that kind of right-hand lead, just dips off to his left, Shendrick, and then shoots that right hand up at an angle. Decent left hand there from Pugac, and then just stepped off to his left hand side. He's had a good round here, Pugac. I don't think he's done enough to win the round, but I think Shendrick would have liked to have tried to have made things hotter for him in this round, but he's not really allowed it. His feet have been pretty good. He's used that lead hand fairly effectively, and then when he's got up tight like he did there, most of the time he's managed to get a hold of Shendrick and negate anything that he's been trying to do. And Shendrick just trying to force things now in the final minute of the round. Decent left hand there from Shendrick. But Pugac just backing off as he took it. So the sixth and final round coming up. This our opening fight of the night. It's been a decent enough watch so far. With Pugac, you know what you'll get. You'll get somebody who comes in good condition and who will make his opponent work. So if you've got a talented fighter like Shendrick making his debut, he is kind of the perfect guy really, because you won't get an easy ride. It will be a decent, worthwhile outing. And if you're not really on your game, he could find you out. You have to make sure you put in a solid, concentrated performance, or things could go wrong. So the bell goes at the start of the sixth. The referee just
Last round, ladies and gentlemen.
Waiting for the corners to clear the ring. And here we go into the last round. Coming up after this, we've got 4 rounds in the flyweight division. I mentioned Omar Ahmetovic, who I first saw at the World Youth Championships in Belgrade back in 2021. He got to the last 8. He was good in that tournament. Boxed really, really well. It was a fantastic tournament all round, actually. Sorry, that was in Kielce in Poland earlier in the year. He then boxed at the World Championships in Belgrade, but it was in Kielce that I first saw him, and I've been kind of looking out for him since then. A minute down in round 6, 2 to go. And he's still looking to spring in quick and close that gap, close that distance with some real energy whenever he gets the opportunity, Pugac. Looking for that left to the body. Shendrick, I think, could probably do as a pro with just slowing everything down a little bit. It's very common when somebody's been boxing at elite level at in the amateurs, because although the gap between amateur and pro isn't as big now as it used to be, largely due to the introduction of the 10-point must for the scoring system 12 years ago now, you've got a generation of fighters coming through who will never have boxed under the computer point scoring system, and the 10-point must does make it more like pro boxing. But the biggest difference still really is that you can win a fight in the amateurs without really hurting your opponent, or without even really looking to hurt your opponent. Punches that find the target can do the job, whereas in professional boxing you're looking to punch through the target. You are looking to hurt your opponent. That's how you win fights. Good left hand there though from Shendrick, and a left into the body as well, and a right hand over the top, and Pugach just for a second there looked like he might be in trouble. He definitely gave a bit of ground. And so when you make that switch, what fighters need to get used to is just holding their feet for that split second longer to give themselves that more solid base to punch from, which allows them to punch with more power. The downside to that is that the more you set yourself to punch, the greater chance you give your opponent of being able to hit you, because, as I say, you have to set those feet, you have to stop, even if it's just for a split second. But that's the game you're in. That's the risk you have to take. That's the confidence you have to have. And there goes the bell at the end of the 6 rounds. And that was a very good and valuable 6 rounds, I would say, there for Alexey Shendrick on his debut. Pugach did a good job. Kept up with his opponent, but I would say that Shendrick has won every round there. But the good thing about Pugach is that he's always trying to get something done. He never goes into survival mode. Whenever I've seen him anyway, he's always looking to fire back. His fitness levels are really good. And so he's always trying to give his opponent something to think about. Sometimes you see away corner fighters and they're almost in survival mode from the start. They know how to throw the odd flurry just to try and make their opponent think a little bit. They'll do whatever they can to confuse their opponent. Switch stances, talk to them slightly, do all sorts of things. And that's completely legit. Fighters want to fight as much as they can. They don't want to put themselves in danger. They want to get through the rounds and be available to fight again the next week. But Pugach gives you a bit more than that. And I think there'll be plenty of work out there for him.
Dame i gospodo, kakav meč smo gledali, kakav uvod. U veću boksa ovdje u Banja Luci, posle 6 rundi, naše sudije su bile jednoglasne. Pobjednik ovog meča je u zlatnom uglu Alexey Shendrik, Serbia.
So Shendrik gets it by unanimous decision. And that pro career off and running for the 21-year-old.